What if all the colors we see are wrong? You've looked at the sky your whole life. It's blue, right? The grass? Green. Bananas? Yellow. But what if I told you that every color you've ever seen might not just be different from someone else's experience, but fundamentally wrong? Let's dive into one of the strangest, most brain-bending questions in science and perception. What if the colors we see are just illusions? And worse, illusions we all agreed on without realizing it. Our brains don't see color. Our eyes don't either. Not really. What we see is reflected light, different wavelengths bouncing off objects. Our retinas pick up those waves, and our brains translate them into color. Red has a longer wavelength, blue is shorter, and everything else falls somewhere in between. But here's the twist. The brain doesn't show us reality. It shows us its version of reality. It creates color as a tool, a mental shortcut. There's no such thing as a red wavelength, just a frequency that our brain says, hey, let's call this red. We don't perceive the world directly. We interpret it. This gets weirder. You and I might both point at a strawberry and call it red. But what if what I see as red, you see as what I would call green? But since we both learn to associate that frequency with the word red, we never realize our brains are coloring the world differently. This is called the inverted spectrum theory, and it's impossible to prove or disprove. There's no way to peek into another person's mind and compare color experiences directly. Your red might be my purple, and we'd never know. Color blindness adds another layer. Some people can't distinguish red from green at all. Others can see colors most of us can't even imagine, like tetrachromats, mostly women, who have 4 types of color receptors instead of 3. They can perceive subtle differences we don't even have words for. So who's seeing it right? Maybe none of us. Now, imagine if our entire visual experience is built on a system that isn't fixed, but negotiable. Culture influences color too. Ancient languages often lacked a word for blue. Homer described the ocean as wine dark, not blue. Was the sea different back then? No. But maybe their brains processed it differently. Or they categorized color in ways we no longer do. Even animals see the world in dramatically different palettes. Bees can see ultraviolet. Mantis shrimp have up to 16 color receptors. 16. They likely see colors we don't even have concepts for. What does a sunset look like to them? A visual symphony we'll never grasp? But what if it's not just that colors are relative? What if they're wrong? What if our brain's interpretation is a flawed interface? Like a low-res screen trying to display a 4K movie? Maybe color as we know it is just a simplified shortcut designed for survival, not truth. There's a theory in cognitive science called the interface theory of perception. It suggests our senses didn't evolve to show us reality. They evolved to help us survive. Just like your phone's icons don't show you what's really going on inside the phone. They just simplify complex processes so you can use it. Maybe color is nature's way of doing that. Efficient but inaccurate. So here's the wild thought. What if the real world isn't colorful at all? What if it's just data, vibrations, fields, frequencies, and we paint it with color to make it navigable? You're not seeing what's there. You're seeing what your brain wants you to see. And it might be lying. Beautifully. So next time you watch a sunset or marvel at a rainbow, take a moment. That blaze of color might not just be a trick of light. It might be a trick of you. And maybe, just maybe, there are colors out there your brain can't even imagine. And the biggest question of all? If our colors are wrong, what else are we wrong about? Maybe we don't see the world as it is. Maybe we only see the story our brain tells us. And maybe, just maybe, that's the most colorful illusion of all.